You want to have both feet flat on the ground, rooting through all four corners of your feet, feeling the chair underneath of your sit bones, sitting up with a nice neutral back. You don't want to be arching backwards or hunching forwards, just nice in the center. Resting your palms on your thighs, and we're going to come to our breath. So if you'd like, you can close your eyes or just have a gentle gaze ahead of you. Not really focus on anything, but just observing the breath. Once you've done 2 or 3 of those breaths, we're going to change it into a breathing exercise called kumbhaka breathing. And kumbhaka breathing is where we'll inhale through the nose and holding at the top with the full capacity for 4 counts. And then you're going to exhale or sigh out for 4 counts. So let's try that together. Inhaling through the nose. Once we're at the top, hold for 4. And then exhaling for 4. We'll try that again. Hold for 3, 2, 1. And exhaling for 3, 2, 1. You're going to go ahead and do that at your own pace 2 more times. From there, I'll get you to join me in cat and cow. So that's where we're going to warm up our spine. So as you inhale, you're going to arch the spine and look up towards the ceiling, opening the chest, rounding your shoulders back and behind you. And as you exhale, turn and look down towards the navel and round the back. Inhaling again, pushing on the thighs and uncurling your back. And as you exhale, looking down and rounding your back. So since this is just a warm-up, you can go 80% of the way that you would fully do. As we're just trying to bring a little bit of circulation and mobility into the spine. So continuing at your own pace, we're going to do 2 more cat-cows. So as we inhale, arching the back. This is your cow. And exhaling, looking towards your belly button, rounding the back, and this is cat. Let's doing 1 more here. So yoga is all about the breath. Starts at your breath, ends with the breath. If you ever find you need to relax or just find yourself really fidgety, lost in your thoughts, please come back to just a regular observation of your inhale and exhale. So we're going to come into our side stretch here as we're sitting up nice and tall on our sit bones. Feet still planted nicely on the mat. You're going to inhale, both arms up. Grab your left wrist with the right hand and gently pull that arm to the right side of your body. Stretching through the left side body, you're going to breathe into that lung and exhale. Inhale again. And maybe your exhale here, you're going to bring it just a little bit more to the right hand side. And at your next inhale, you're going to straighten yourself back up. Go ahead and switch hands, pulling on your right wrist and slowly tilting over to the left side. Inhaling through the right side body. And slowly letting that go. Inhaling again and exhaling, maybe going a little bit further to the left. And as we inhale, go ahead and bring yourself back up nice and tall. Slowly bring your arms down. And we're gonna come into cow face arms, which I'll show you or demonstrate what it would look like so. And if you do have a towel or a belt, that'll also help as well. So I'll show you how it would look with a belt. Okay, so sitting on your chair, if you do have your belt or towel handy, you're gonna just rest that strap on your left shoulder. As you inhale your arms up into a T, the shoulder that has your belt or your towel on it, you're gonna have your thumbs facing upwards. Opposite hand, the thumbs are gonna be down. So following the direction of your thumbs, the thumb up is going to go upwards above your head, thumb down is gonna go behind your back. So once we're here, you can go ahead and tuck your thumbs in, bending at the elbows. If available to you, you can grab your fingers, and if not, holding on to the strap. And this is cow face arms. So what's important here with this position is it's bringing back blood circulation into our shoulders, into our arms, stretching out the rotator cuff. And we're also breathing. So for this cow face arm to work, you want to aim to have one elbow nice and high towards the ceiling and the other one nice and low, pointing down towards your chair. So once we have that going, having the towel or the strap is a lot easier, just so that your fingers aren't getting forced into a position that your body is not ready to get into. So always listen to your body, let the pose come to you. So be here for one more breath. It's also a great chest opener. Go ahead and let your fingers or your strap go and uncurl those arms back into your T. And we can then come to the opposite side here. So just pull the strap or towel around, hang it on to the right side here. So same thing, bring our arms up into a T. The arm with your towel or strap, thumb up, and opposite, thumbs down. So continue in that circle, bending at the elbows. If available to you, go ahead and grab the fingers or holding onto your strap again. So we should be able to feel a nice stretch here in both arms. And remember, having an open chest for this position really does help as well. We're not trying to hunch forward at all. And we want to make sure that those elbows are in opposites. My right one's facing up towards the sky, left one down towards the ground. So be here, long, steady breaths. So while we're letting the blood and the energy flow through our cow face arms, I'm going to talk about this next stretch we'll get into. And it's going to help with our posture as well as taking care of something people would mention as a camel hump. And it's just an extra padding that our body places on the back of our necks. And I learned that it does end up on the back of our neck because we're hunched over so much. So your head is approximately the same weight as a bowling ball, 10 pounds. When we have a lot of that pressure falling forward with tech neck over a keyboard, texting, driving, or my situation hunched over with loop lights over someone else's mouth in hygiene, that's slowly going to compromise your posture. And a lot of that pressure and weight, it leads to your body adding cushioning where it thinks you need it. All right, so at your last exhale here, you're gonna go ahead and unwind those arms back into a T and then slowly bring them down to your sides. So you wanna just let that blood and energy kind of just rush back through into our arms. And the posture exercise that I'm going to do is called YWTL. So we can stay seated on our chairs here. And a lot of this is actually going to open the chest and open the heart and just make sure that our spine is nice and long and no curving going on. So YWTL stretch, we're going to actually start our hands up in a Y shape up above us. So as we inhale here through the nose, we're going to lift our arms nice and high and then exhale, round the shoulders down and back behind you. So you've got this lovely space between your earlobes and your shoulder. So being here for 5 breaths. The next shape here is going to be a W. So bending your elbows, coming down, so they're just a little bit lower than your shoulders, keeping your hands up to the sides, so they're pretty much next to your ear. If you were to look sideways, you can see both palms. And this is also more of a lat pull, where if you had like a bar here, you're like pulling it down behind you. So in this position, while we're staying here for 5 breaths as well, you want to feel like the wings or the shoulder blades in your back are trying to squeeze together. And our next shape here is going to be a T. So go ahead and just extend those arms nice and straight to the right and left of you. And also trying to propriocept here. Feel the space between the shoulders and your earlobes. Feel that your arms are extended out nice and long on either side. Feel that your shoulders are rolled down and back behind you. Nice open chest here. And the last letter is L. So that's when we pull our arms inwards, bending at the elbows and coming into an L shape. So this is for sure where you will feel like you're squeezing those shoulder blades nice and tight, opening up the pectorals and our chest muscles. And the arms are almost at a 90-degree outwards or bend and still sticking out to the side of you. Kind of like a weird little cactus. Nice long steady breath here. And at your next exhale, go ahead and straighten those arms out and let them rest by your side. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and do a couple neck release stretches as well. So having our right hand to the side and your left arm is gonna be holding on just to the underside of the chair. And right one's just kind of dangling on the side here. You're gonna go ahead and bring your right ear to the right shoulder, letting gravity do its job, stretching out the sternocleidomastoid. Long, steady breath. At your next inhale, you're going to go ahead and straighten your neck out. And you're going to tilt and look down towards your right armpit. And then bending again to the right, bringing your right ear down. It might be easier actually if you tilt your chin down towards that armpit, but you should be able to feel a slight stretch here on that left neckline here. At your next inhale, go ahead and straighten out your neck and turn towards center. We're going to go ahead and hold on to the right side of that chair and tilting left ear, left shoulder. Long, steady breath. You may find one side is more stretchy or flexible than the other, and that's okay. Our yoga is for balancing, so we're gonna try and stretch out what's short, and whatever is too long, we're gonna strengthen those muscles. At your next inhale, go ahead and bring your neck nice and straight, looking down towards your left armpit. So holding onto that right side of the chair, go ahead and bring your chin down towards that left armpit. And at your next inhale, go ahead and straighten out, turning back towards center. And we're going to do a couple shoulder shrugs here. So as we inhale, bring your shoulders up nice and high. And as we sigh that out, go ahead and roll them back and behind. A couple more. Inhale nice and high, and then exhale, release all that tension. Inhale, bring them all the way up, and then exhale, letting that all out. Do one more for good luck. And exhale down. So from here, we're going to come into a chair twist. So as we inhale our arms up, this elongates our spine so it's nice and ready. And as you exhale, you're going to turn to the right, twisting towards the back of the chair. If it's available to you, you're going to grab the side of the chair here and hold that twist. And you can continue that twist by looking over your right shoulder. As we inhale, we lengthen, and as we exhale, we turn just a little bit more. We're inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to twist. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to twist. Inhale to lengthen and then exhale, swing all the way back towards center. Arms resting on our lap. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. So inhaling the arms up nice and tall. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then exhale, go ahead and turn towards the left side. Grab hold of the backing of your chair. And then continuing to look over your left shoulder. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to release and twist. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to twist. And this is massaging your inner organs, the digestive system as we twist. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling, letting go. Last one here. Inhale to lengthen and slowly turn towards the center again. So I find twists are really helpful for getting mobility and movement back into our spines. It also helps just keeping the plumpness in the vertebra. So if you ever need a little pick-me-up, chair twists. Very, very good for you. So we're going to continue on. We've had our neck, our chest, arms. We're going to come into our core. So this muscle here, our stomach muscle, we really need to use it a lot more, especially when we're sitting a lot. There's not a lot of muscle tension there to actually keep our spine from rolling down like this. So we're going to go ahead and sit up nice and tall, start working on that. So we're going to start with a chair march. I'm just going to bring this sideways so you can see a little bit better. So sitting on the sit bones, nice and tall. And what you want to feel is you're pulling your belly button into your spine. So if you can kind of feel that there, that is already bringing tension and attention to your stomach and the muscles that are working in there. And to do your march, you're going to lift the right knee up, lifting the right foot up off of your mat as well, and kind of just holding that knee a little bit high. And if it starts to shake, that's okay. It just means that you're working the muscle. Go ahead and let that foot down. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with the left foot. Nice and high and just holding. So as we continue this march on our chair, what you want to focus on is you're actually using the core to actually bring your knees up closer towards your chest. So just continuing right, left, right, left. And what you want to make sure that you're not doing is hunching into your chair to lift this, because that does not force any of your muscles to actually be engaged. So always trying to keep your back in a neutral position, and you're isolating, nothing on top is moving, you're just moving the legs. Nice thing about having the chair is you can actually hold on to the sides of your chair for stability and keeping yourself nice and tall as we march our legs right and left, right and left. So we're going to come to our last march, and this is going to turn into a swim kick. So imagine you're sitting on the edge of a pool. You can actually lean back a little bit here for this. And you're going to extend right and left leg out in front of you in the water. And then you're going to go ahead and try your best to keep them nice and straight. And you're going to kick. So it's like back in swimming school where your teacher held on to you from your arms and he just told you to keep on kicking. And you go further if your legs are nice and straight rather than bending at the knees. And remembering to breathe here. This is the one exercise for our sequence today that's going to fire up the belly and bring a lot of energy and circulation back into our body. So we're going to do this 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and rest those legs down. If you can feel that fire coming through the thighs, maybe through the core, good job. You're working it. So our next position here, we're going to come into our first warrior of the day is going to be warrior 2. I'm just going to bring the chair to the side so you can see. So warrior 2, we always want to focus on how the hips are doing as well. You want nice and level. So sitting on the left corner of your chair, your left hip's going to be kind of hanging out here, and you're going to swing the right knee over to the side and push your left foot all the way back. So now that you have your foot positioning, I'm going to make sure the alignment is also straight. So with your heel down on the floor, toes on the floor, that foot's going to be 60 degrees kind of outwards, and the inner arch of that back foot is going to be in line with your front heel. So go ahead and kind of make this imaginary line between inner arch and front heel. Once you have that, this knee is supposedly 90 degrees, as long as you've got your chair to support you here. Always have the knees facing over your middle toes. So you don't want any splaying of the knee or rounding inwards. So go ahead and open up that hip. Make sure the knee is across and out over the middle toes. Back toes are down onto the mat. Have your hips now nice and level here. So if you have your hands on your hips, your hands should not be tilting left or right. And if you had headlights on your hips, they're going to be facing directly at me. So warrior 2 legs, check. And then we're going to come and use our breath to bring our arms up into warrior 2 arms. So inhaling the arms up into a T shape, nice open chest, nice wide T, Virabhadrasana 2. So we're going to change the arms a little bit here, and we're going to come into a bow and arrow pose here with the same warrior 2 legs. So keeping the legs there, you're going to rest this back arm onto the thigh and turn so that your palm is facing up to the sky. Inhale, tilt just a little bit further back here. And then we're going to come and pull our arrow on that bow. So go ahead and swing your back arm up towards the right. Hold on to your imaginary bow and arrow here and pull it back as you inhale. And you should feel this left shoulder opening up as we still continue looking over to the right. And as we exhale, go ahead and push that arm back to the right. As we inhale, pull on that bow, open the chest, and exhale back. We'll do one more here. Pull on the bow, pull back, opening that shoulder, And exhale back towards that arm, and then slowly bring both down. All right. So go ahead and bring both legs together on your chair, and we're going to swing over to the opposite corner here, and we'll do warrior two on the opposite side. So go a little bit quicker here, just because the alignment's going to be the exact same. But you want to take your time and just find the right alignment here. So again, left knee is bent at a 90-degree angle, knees over middle toes, back leg out behind you, and then nice straight line between inner arch of the back foot and heel of the front foot. Have your hands on your hips, move them around so that they are facing me. You may need to kind of scoot on your chair as well if you need to. And then inhaling the arms to a T, warrior two. So resting your arm on the back leg, you're gonna turn the left hand towards the ceiling, inhaling up a little bit so that you're facing towards the, corner of your room. So as we bring our left hand to meet that left arm, meeting your right arm with your left arm, on the left side. Go ahead and pull that fake bow and arrow here. And inhale, pull back. Open that chest as best as you can. And exhale, bring it back towards that left hand. As we inhale, go ahead and pull again. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades together, opening the chest, looking up towards that left hand, left fingertips. And last one here, go ahead and inhale and pulling. Good. Go ahead and exhale, bring those arms together, swing them down. Go ahead and kind of inch your feet back together here on your chair. And from here, we're going to come into one-legged forward folds just to kind of stretch out our hamstrings. So with that, you're going to sit at the edge of your chair. And we're going to let's do our left leg first. Pulling our left leg straight ahead of us. Make sure the toes are flexed. Toes are coming towards you here. And we're gonna clasp our fingers behind us and pull back. So in a way, you're actually feeling like you've just given yourself a nice chest lift and keeping your fingers and everything intertwined behind you here. Left foot ahead of you. You're going to slowly hinge at your hip, bringing your chest forward until you feel a light stretch in that left foot or left hamstring. You might be able to feel that stretch going through the knee as well as the calf. And no need to force this. If you're not, touching your head towards your toes right now, don't feel bad. Yoga is not for the flexible, it's for the willing. So if you're here on your mat for yourself, that's all you need to know. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths, just letting this passive stretch fall into the hamstring. Breathe out any tension in that left leg. Nice long steady breaths. I'm coming up to my last one here. And when you are there as well, I'll just invite you to unhinge at the hips, come back up, and bend your left leg in. So go ahead and do the right leg here. So still holding on to our hands behind us, nice open chest. Flex those toes towards you as you extend that right leg, and then slowly hinging forward until you feel a stretch in that hamstring, and then just holding this for 5 long, steady breaths. You'll find a lot of sitting and non-movement right now. It'll shorten a lot of muscles in our legs, this being one of them. So you just want to take the time, allow the breath to find its way into that leg, and exhale the tension. And inhale, getting some circulation back into the hip as well as the hamstring here. At your last breath here, go ahead and unhinge and coming up. And bring your right foot in, unclasp those fingers out to the side, and then we'll come into a figure four. And this will nicely help open our hip as well as warrior two. So figure four, you're gonna lift your right ankle and just resting it on the right knee. And if that's too much, you can also cross your leg for now. But what you want to feel is a little bit of tension in this right hip flexor. So once you have your foot in position, you're going to try to bring this knee a little bit closer to the floor. And if this position is already satisfying that stretch, feel free to stay here for the next 5 breaths. And if you do want something a little bit more challenging, you're going to go ahead and resting both hands on knee and ankle, you're going to start bending forward at your hip, hinging forward. And you'll feel that your chest is coming a little bit closer to that leg that you've brought up. Nice, steady breaths here. A lot of the times, our body will hold a lot of our stress, and the hips are also one of those joints that mistakenly take on a lot of our pressures, on our daily tensions. You want to give it some TLC, give it some love, breathe into it. And at your next exhale, go ahead and pull yourself back up. Just gently bring that right foot down and we'll switch it with the left. So again, having ankle on knee, or if you want more of calf on knee, you can also do that. Wherever your body's saying, yes, this is a comfortable, uncomfortable area. You want to just breathe into that. Okay. So once we have that position, have your knee to the side. And if this is good, go ahead and stay there for your breathing. And if not, go ahead and start hinging yourself forward from your hip and bring that chest forward. So be careful here not to round your shoulders as you're coming forward. If you find that we're doing that, go ahead and clasp your fingers back behind you again and just open that shoulder. If you're hunched forward all day, the last thing you want to do is continue doing that bad habit during your yoga practice. Your chest or your pectoral muscles in the area are already shortened when we hunch. So we want to just open that back up and elongate those muscles. It's also where your heart chakra is. It's where we hold a lot of our compassion. If we start cutting off that circulation there, you'll find that the compassion that you're holding for yourself and maybe somebody else start to dwindle. So always try to open that back up. Next exhale, go ahead and bring yourself up. And bring that left foot out of figure 4. We're going to come into our standing poses now. So from here, we're going to have the chair at our right side of our mat. And if you can have it facing you, you can either have it this low where you're holding the edge of your chair like so, or if you feel that this may be a little bit too low for you today, there are options. You can turn the chair and you can rest on the back of that chair. So either one is good. The chair is for your stability and for you to feel safe. So choose which one is calling to you today. So from here, setting up nice and tall, pulling up through the thighs, pulling the knees up. Your feet are going to be hip-width distance apart. Go ahead and hold on to the chair wherever you feel is comfortable and slowly walk your feet back. Still hip-width distance apart. And until you're almost pretty much pulling yourself away from your chair into a down dog, and your hips are going to be lifted up nice and high. And what you should feel is a nice straight back. And there's a long extended line from the tip of your head to the tip of your tailbone. And the legs are nice and straight. Feet are hip-width distance apart. And you should feel a whole body stretch here. Staying here for 2 breaths. Try to aim your chest towards your thigh. And at that last breath, go ahead and walk yourself back up towards the chair. And from here, we're going to come into our first warrior 2, but without the chair. So let's try that. So your feet are hip-width distance apart here. You're still facing your chair. Pull your left leg all the way back behind you, 4 or 5 feet away. And again, finding that alignment. You might have to toe your front foot up a little bit more if you want to bend over that right middle toe. And again, alignment, the middle arch on the back foot in line with this front heel. Toes are facing your chair and the back foot toes are going to be outward 60 degrees. So now before we bend our knee, have your hands on your hip, face your hips towards me, always open, and now bend. So if you do need support, your chair is right here for you. But what you felt with your chair supporting you, you want to feel the exact same with your warrior 2 here without the chair underneath of your hip. So the core is nice and engaged. You're pulling everything up nice and high. This back leg is strong. This right leg is also strong. And when you're ready, go ahead and inhale the arms to a T. And you've come into your warrior 2. So you should be feeling a nice stretch as well as stability and strength happening in this lower half of your body. but we're also opening the hip here for warrior two. So this is a very good, stable position to always get into. But I thought we'd get into the chair first and then come into warrior two without it. That way we have an idea of how it should feel. So go ahead and coming out of that, we'll inhale, straighten that leg, the front leg, and then keeping our arms up into a T, we're going to come into an extended triangle. So what that is you're going to keep our hands in a T, but reach forward. See how I haven't moved anything down here? I'm just tilting. It's almost like I'm glued to the mat and I really need a glass of water on the table. So I only reach my arms. Okay. So once we're here, find that chair, rest your hand on that chair, and inhale your back arm up towards the sky. And this is your triangle. Feel free to look down towards your front right toes. Slight little twist here for your neck. But you should be able to feel a stretch in that right hamstring or inner thigh of that right foot. And feeling a nice stretch through the left side body. We'll be here for one more breath. And then we'll go ahead and inhale ourselves, windmill up, and exhale our arms down. We're going to bring our feet heel toe together, and we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to do warrior two on the opposite side. So I'm actually going to be doing it not facing the camera, but you can see how it looks in the back. So we're going to lift that right foot, come all the way back behind you, find that alignment, inner arch to heel in the front, toes facing towards the chair, back toes out 60 degrees, bend over the middle toes, hips, making sure, facing the long edge of our mat, and then inhaling the arms up to a T. Virabhadrasana 2. Nice and steady here. Feeling how everything works together to keep you balanced and opening your hips, working those muscles. So at your next exhale, go ahead and straighten that front leg. Again, for triangle, nice and straight here. Reach, reach, reach towards the front, keeping our legs exactly where they are. Feel like your torso is one piece and you're not bending it anywhere. Once you've reached enough there, you're going to lower your hand, find that chair, and inhale your back arm up towards the sky. Feel a stretch on the right side body. Keeping that back leg strong and having a stretch in the right hamstring or right inner thigh. Looking down towards the chair if you'd like. Or you can look up towards the back hand. Either one. Nice and long, steady breath here. We'll be here for 2. One more. Inhale yourself up. Bring the arms down, heel toe the feet together. Excellent. And then we're going to come back onto our chair, into a seated position, into our last asana, which is our camel pose. Another really good chest opener. and something that fights bad posture. So you're going to be seated. Find yourself planting all four corners of your feet onto the floor, planting into the sit bones onto your chair, and you're going to hold on to the outer rim here of the chair, and that actually opens already as we round the shoulders outwards. As you inhale, you're going to bring that chest forward and up. And as we exhale, you're going to actually tilt further back, almost like you're trying to rest your head onto the back of your chair. So every time we inhale, we're going to lift that chest just a tad bit higher. And as we exhale, opening the throat and tilting back. Rolling the shoulders outwards, behind you. Breathing through the chest. Last breath. And exhale, come forward, let go of the side of the chair, and gently roll yourself, curling forwards as your counter pose here. And just resting the neck. And then slowly unravel yourself. Back into neutral position. So from here, we're going to come into a little Shavasana, or also known as corpse pose. You can lie on the mat if you'd like to, but if you'd like to stay on the chair, I'll guide you here. So you're going to come into a nice comfortable position in your chair. You can actually relax and lean back into the backing if you like. And we're going to kind of do a body scan here and just make sure we breathe out, let go of any tension that we might be holding on throughout class. So resting our hands, you're going to have palms turned upwards in a receiving position on your lap, and scanning from top down. I'm going to go ahead and relax any muscles around the eyelids, around the eyes, maybe the furrow between the eyebrows. Want to let that go. Slowly close the eyes. And then scanning down towards the jaw, go ahead and unclench the teeth, letting the jaw muscle relax. Letting anything go around the neck and your shoulders. Coming to our belly, just letting it go and release. Elbows, fingertips, letting the muscles relax. If there's any tension left in the hips, gently guide your breath there and just exhale the tension out. Letting the muscles in your thighs relax, and then the knees. Coming down to the calves. Also letting that go. Feeling the four corners still rooted into your mat or into the ground, carpet, wherever you are sitting. Imagine that there are roots growing through the four corners and grounding you into the earth. Just focusing on letting go of any clenching or tension in your toes. And Shavasana is a way for our body to recoup and absorb all the good things that you've done for it in the last hour for your practice. Letting your mind go and just observing your breath. So no need to force an inhale or exhale here. You're just going to come to a regular breathing pattern. And any thoughts that come to your mind, just gently acknowledge them and then let them go. So every inhale is relaxation, and every exhale is just to let things that don't serve a purpose to you right now. Thoughts like, what's for dinner? Where do you have to go tomorrow? What TV show you're going to watch after this? All of those things, you can leave them to the side. You're just going to be with your breath right now for Shavasana. Letting that brain chatter go. One of the hardest practices. But I promise you, once you learn, your brain will feel rejuvenated and you'll be capable of handling anything that comes your way once you leave the mat. So just practice being present, staying still with the breath. Being grounded, at letting gravity sink you further in. You're just going to fall into stillness. So slowly guiding everyone out of Shavasana. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, inside out. Keeping our eyes closed as we bring our attention back into the room. Just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Get that movement back in. You can tap your heels a little bit there, finding yourself again seated. Once you're ready, gently open up your eyes. And if you are on the ground, you can slowly roll over onto one side using your hand to support you and bring yourself up into a seated position. But I hope that was a hopefully good rejuvenating class here to help you focus on your posture and just bring a little attention to some self-love. So hands towards center, in honor of your practice today, in honor of you coming here. It was an honor teaching every one of you. Thank you. Namaste.